this part of the book launches into a discussion of the first of the three pieces of a strategy for living well, a strategy for leading one's life in all contexts. And it's about laying a foundation, trying to have, in a world that changes rapidly, some kind of anchoring sense of who we are and where we're going and so on. Let me kind of give a justification for that first in a sort of romantic way, and then in a more bottom line businessy kind of way. One of the Roman philosophers put it this way, that if one doesn't know to which port one wants to sail, no wind is favorable. In other words, if you don't know where you're trying to go, you don't know, is this a favorable or an unfavorable wind that's going to take me there. Let me express the same idea in more prosaic, businessy terms. I'm sure many of you know Michael Porter, who teaches at Harvard Business School and is kind of the dean of strategy consultants, and he defines strategy basically, I'm paraphrasing, as being the ends that the company seeks, although it could be the ends that a person seeks, and the means, the ways we're going to get there. So the first part of strategy has something to do with figuring out where we want to go. And then only at that point do we kind of worry about, okay, how do we get there, and what tools do we have, and what do we need in order to get there. And in the spiritual exercises, which many of you know are the founder of the Jesuits, St. Ignatius' attempt to translate into a system his own journey to overall religious and self-understanding, he makes a similar kind of observation. At one point he talks about one of the great problems he sees as people confusing ends and means. In other words, first they worry about what should be a means. Like in our lives it could be, I really want this job, or I really want a better house, or I really want a lot of money, or I really want to be with that woman, or whatever the heck the thing would be. And only when they kind of get that do they ever start to worry about what is my life about and where am I trying to get. So we have a kind of a confusion of ends and means. So the chapters in this section of the book in a way challenge us to try and get our ends straight as human beings. And ends, we could understand that in a very broad sense, and each of us will approach it and answer it in different kinds of ways. I mean, ends for some people include things like purpose, like this is why I'm here, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. Ends for other people, might be along the lines of what in a company is often called like a vision. In other words, the kind of world you want. Like I want my kids to grow up in a world that's safer than the world I'm in, or a world where people treat each other justly, and so on. And our ends also include the way we go about our life, the values, the things we want to uphold. Some, I'm sure, feel that it's important to them to treat other people fairly, or to be honest, or to be kind, whatever it may be. The chapters in the book delve into each of these ways of thinking about our ends, our foundation, our anchor. There's some chapter about vision. There's material about purpose or mission, and there's material about values. There's another thing that's going on in this section of the book, which is that when we think about these profound questions of why are we here, what do we stand for, what is life all about, that is a kind of a spiritual set of questions as well. And so this part of the book is also about inviting or challenging people to connect our deepest beliefs, whether you're in a religious tradition like Christianity or Judaism or Islam, or some set of humanistic beliefs that you happen to have, connecting your beliefs to what you do all day and to your family life and so on. And this is a source of great problem and frustration for a lot of people nowadays. If we think of it in religious terms, there is a book by a sociologist at Harvard, Laura Nash, called Church on Sunday, Work on Monday. And as a sociologist, she interviewed a lot of religious people, and she finds great frustration in the sense that they can't find ways to connect Sunday to Monday. In other words, they go to church and maybe it's a good experience, but then they go to work and the two of them don't seem to have anything to do with each other. or they feel like they're leading split lives. You know, I go to work to get money for my family, but then I'm working so hard that I really don't spend enough time with my family, so they feel they have a split life. So in a way, the chapters of this book are also kind of challenging us to make connections. Like, are there ways that we could think about and talk about the things we believe in a deep sense, religious sense, spiritual sense, humanistic sense? Are there ways we could think about those things, express those things, that would carry over into every day? So that instead of feeling like we have this split life, we instead feel our life is sort of pulled together, and we have some unified sense, integrated sense of purpose and what we're about.